In 2013, a quiet government scientist named Dr. Malcolm Reeves disappeared from a top-secret research facility in New Mexico. No warning, no signs of a struggle. One minute he was logged into his lab terminal, running energy calculations. The next, gone, vanished without a trace. The security footage? Erased. His keycard? Still in the room. The only thing left behind was a single note, handwritten, and left on his lab desk. It read, "It was an accident. But now it's open. And something is watching." The government buried the case. Officially, Dr. Reeves died in a lab accident, exposure to experimental radiation. But no one ever found a body. And that would have been the end of it, if not for what happened 9 years later. In 2022, a strange file appeared on a hidden part of the dark web. It had no source, no tags, and was titled only Portal Log _42_Reeves. Inside was a voice recording. The speaker identified himself as Dr. Malcolm Reeves. His voice trembled. He sounded older, exhausted, maybe even broken. But he said something that set off a quiet storm inside the intelligence community. If you're hearing this, then they haven't stopped it. I didn't mean to open the doorway, but I did. And what came through wasn't meant for this world, or any other. The recording was just the beginning. Soon after, several whistleblowers from a now-defunct government program called Project Threshold came forward anonymously. What they described was almost unbelievable, unless you already believed in things the government has spent decades denying. According to these insiders, Project Threshold was launched in 2009 with one mission: to find a way to bend the rules of space and time. It was inspired by declassified research from earlier programs like Stargate and Montauk, but Threshold went further. It combined quantum field theory with classified data recovered from a 1987 UFO crash site in Alaska. That wreckage, still kept in an underground hangar, included a device the government couldn't reverse engineer. Not until Dr. Reeves arrived. Reeves was a specialist in theoretical physics, recruited out of MIT. He was known as brilliant but obsessive. He believed that space wasn't empty, it was layered, like sheets of invisible paper stacked on top of each other. Most scientists called his ideas fringe science, even madness. But in the Threshold labs, madness had a budget. His job was to study the alien drive unit recovered from the Alaska crash. The device was shaped like a metallic ring, about 2 feet in diameter, covered in symbols no one could translate. For years, it just sat there, silent and cold. But Reeves thought it wasn't broken. He thought it was waiting. In late 2012, Reeves and his team began testing energy pulses against the object. Microwave frequencies. Magnetic fields. Nothing happened for months. Then, during a routine experiment on January 14, 2013, the object suddenly activated. It lit up in a swirl of blue light and began to spin, silently, smoothly, impossibly fast. A humming filled the room, but the source couldn't be located. That's when the cameras went dark. Every backup system failed at once. And in those missing 7 minutes, something happened. When the power came back, the object was still. The lab was undamaged. But Dr. Reeves was different. Witnesses said he looked terrified, pale, like he had seen something no human was meant to see. He said nothing for days. Then, on February 3rd, Reeves came to work early. Security logs show he accessed the main lab alone. He ran a series of commands from his terminal, then vanished. All that remained was that note. The program was immediately shut down. The object was sealed and buried in a classified facility beneath the Nevada desert. Project Threshold was dissolved, and all personnel involved were silenced through lifetime NDAs and surveillance. At least, most of them. Because in the leaked file, Reeves explains what happened. He said that the device didn't create energy, it focused it. When activated, it tore a hole between dimensions. Not just other universes, but layers of reality stacked so close together, we usually can't even tell they're there. He called it sliding the veil. But when the veil moved, something saw through it. And it saw him. He described the space beyond as endless black, with shifting colors and whispers like wind across broken glass. And in the dark, he saw shapes. Things that didn't walk or fly, but floated, twisted, shimmered. Not alien in the flying saucer way. Alien in the wrongness of it. Shapes that hurt to look at. Intelligence that didn't understand us, or didn't care. And worst of all, it followed him back. After the portal closed, he started hearing noises at night. Feeling watched. His dreams became violent, vivid. People he worked with began to act strange. One scientist on his team was found dead in his apartment. No signs of trauma, but his face frozen in a look of terror. Reeves believed the portal had not fully closed. It left a scar in the fabric of space, small, but growing. He said the symbols on the device weren't just decoration. They were coordinates, markers, instructions. Not for humans. For something else. And that something was now trying to come through. He tried to stop it. He tried to warn his superiors. But the deeper he dug, the more resistance he faced. He found documents dating back to the 1950s, indicating this wasn't the first time a portal had been opened. In fact, the government had encountered similar devices before. One during the Roswell cleanup. Another buried under the ice in Antarctica. All were locked away. All were dangerous. But Reeves believed these weren't crashed ships. They were gates. Sent here on purpose. And activating even one of them sent a signal, an invitation. In his final message, Reeves claimed he didn't disappear. He escaped, through the portal. Not because he wanted to, but because he had no choice. Something was coming through, and he believed the only way to stop it was from the other side. His last words were chilling. If I can reach them, whoever built the gates, I might be able to shut it down. But if this message gets out, then you have to do one thing: destroy the device. Because if they find a way to finish what I started, it won't just be our world that ends. It'll be all of them. To this day, no one knows who uploaded the recording. It vanished within 48 hours of surfacing. Most say it was a hoax, some elaborate sci-fi prank. But there were ripples. In March 2023, seismic sensors near the Nevada test range picked up strange vibrations underground. Not tectonic activity, something rhythmic, almost mechanical. The area was quickly cordoned off, and flights were rerouted for weeks. No explanation was ever given. Some believe the device woke up again. Others say the government destroyed it. But those who've studied the threshold files say something else entirely. They believe Reeves succeeded. That he did reach the other side. And that whatever came through after wasn't him.